us try some example on the permutations and combinations. We have a box here containing 6 red and 4 blue balls. All the balls are drawn one by one. The question asks us to determine the probability of drawing all the red first, followed by the blue balls. To solve these questions, first we need to determine whether it is a permutations or a combinations. Since the balls are drawn one by one in sequence, and that 6 red balls and 4 blue balls, by definitions they are different from each other even though the color is the same. With that, we know that this question is about the permutations. To determine the probability, it is basically the number of events divided by number of space. We solve the number of space first. In total, there are 10 balls in the box. All the balls are drawn one by one. That means, in total, 10 balls will be drawn from the box. The total number of space is regardless of the sequence of the balls. That means, it can start with the red followed by the blue, or start with the blue followed by the red, or the colors can appear alternatively. With that, the total number of the space will be 10p10. Next, we need to draw the red ball first. There are 6 red balls, and it is drawn one by one, and the orders are different. This will give you 6p6, and followed by the 4 blue balls, which is 4p4. Solve the equation here, you will get the probability of 1 out of 210. Let's say now in the same box containing the same number of 6 and 4 balls, 2 balls are drawn progressively. You want it to be the first red and then the second is the blue. To determine the probability, it is the divisions of the event with the space. Now, out of the 10 balls, 2 balls are being drawn regardless the numbers and the sequence. You want the first red ball, that means out of 6, 1 red ball is drawn, and the second ball to be blue, that means out of 4, 1 blue ball is drawn. Solve the equations, you will get the probability of 4 out of 15. Next, let us try another example. In an encrypted message of 26 letters, which are arranged in a group of 5 letters words, determine the number of different words that can be produced with repetitions, and the number of such words containing each letter not more than once, that means is without the repetitions. To solve these questions, we need to determine whether it is a permutations or a combinations. You know that in the 5-letter word, different orders of the letter will give you different words. That means the orders is important here. So, permutations will be applied. If repetitions is allowed, that means it is not only the different arrangements of any 5 letters, it can also some letters can be repeatedly used. The letter can be used twice, 3 times, 4 times, and so on. And the order can also be reshuffled. You may use the tree diagram for you to work out the possible outcome of the words. However, this process will be very tedious. Luckily, we have the equations here. For permutations with repetitions, it will be n power k, while without repetitions, it will be n factorial divided by n minus k factorial. You may simply adopt the equations, which is n power of k. N here is 26 due to 26 letters, and k here would be 5 because of 5 letters words. With that, the total number of space here is given here. Next, look into the 5 letter words without repetitions. In this case, each alphabet can only be used once. They can reshuffle in orders, and the equations is given here. Substitute the relevant value of n equals to 26, k equals to 5. You will get these total numbers of the possible words that can make out of the arrangements. Next, we look into another example here. The question asks us to determine the number of samples of 5 light bulbs that can be selected out of 500 bulbs. Again, you need to decide whether it is a permutation or a combination. In this case, you are looking for a group of 5 out of that 500 bulbs. The order of the bulb being selected is not relevant in this case. Then you know that it is regarding on the combinations. Next, you need to determine whether repetitions is allowed. Based on the nature of the work here, you are actually taking sampling out of that 500 bulbs. Taking a bulb to be repeatedly tested for 5 times will not reflect the conditions of the defective of the light bulbs out of the pipeline. With that, we know that it is not regarding the repetitions of the combinations. We are looking on the case repetition is not allowed. Therefore, we look at the combination here and without repetitions. The equations is given here. Substitute the relevant equations. The answer will obtain.